Inside the studio with us, Paul Burmeister, Robbie Earle, Danny Higginbotham. We'll get to the concern with Liverpool in a moment. But Brentford, they have earned the spotlight right here today. Robbie, what is the best compliment you can pay them after watching that 3-1 victory?
That Liverpool Football Club is one of the greatest clubs in world football. Up for sale, will go for billions of dollars. And what's great about the Premier League is little Brentford, who were in a playoff final in the Championship and lost it, the league below this league, when Liverpool were winning titles, come out tonight and show you that with hard work, with energy, with drive, a good plan and a good coach, you can still win games. And it's not a fluke. They've beaten Manchester United, Manchester City and Liverpool this season, scoring 9 goals, conceding 2. And that's what the Premier League is all about. Yes, you want big names in your Nunez, in your Gakpos and all these star players. This was Brentford without their star man, Ivan Toney, who's got 12 goals. But there's so much to say for hard work, drive and energy and wanting to win a football match.
Haven't lost a Premier League match since all the way back in October. What did you notice today?
I just love them as a football club. You know, I used to cover them when I lived in England before I moved over here, but just they're a prime example of how a football club should be run. You know, obviously Robbie's mentioned Ivan Toney. Christian Eriksen, let's not forget, he was there last season. They lost their assistant manager to Anderlecht during the break, during the World Cup break. They bring another assistant manager in. They've lost 2 set-piece coaches to Arsenal and to Manchester City over recent seasons, but they keep going. The infrastructure of the club, the way that they've always done things is they have 2 directors of football, and what they will do, they will predict and then they'll analyse the players that they think they're going to lose, and they have ready-made replacements coming in. If you look back over the years, the players that they've had and lost, but they replace them and they go from strength to strength. And on the top of that, Thomas Frank just signed a new contract. He deserves all the plaudits, all the credit he's getting. A lot of people will talk about how bad Liverpool were today, which is fair enough, but I think in a scenario like this, it's only right that you give the most credit and the biggest headlines to Brentford.
What specific credit does Thomas Frank deserve here?
That, regardless of losing his star player, his team are always prepared. His team can play in different styles to hurt the opposition. There's a variety to what they do. And they go out with a drive and determination that tells me they've not forgot who they were or where they come from. This was a team that's been in the lower leagues of English football for so long, yet they've come on the biggest stage against a Liverpool team. And I guarantee you, in 10 to 15 years' time, people will still talk about this game. Remember the night we beat Liverpool at the G-Tech? That's how big that win is tonight.
Yeah, first time since 1938. They will certainly remember this one. So with today's result, Brentford right behind Liverpool on the table. Liverpool stay in 6th, 4 points behind Manchester United and the Champions League places. They've won 8 games this season and dropped points in 9. Brentford are now up to 7th, just 2 points behind Liverpool, looking to build on a 13th place finish last season. No changes in the bottom half since yesterday, but here's a reminder of how it looks. Crystal Palace, 11th, Aston Villa, 12th. Then just 5 points separate 13th place Leicester and the bottom of the table. Southampton, Wolves, Forest currently sit in the relegation zone, but West Ham are outside only on goal difference. Thought the reporter asked a very good question there right away. If you heard that Jurgen Klopp didn't really answer, I'll give you guys a chance to. The question was, how far below Liverpool standards did your performance fall today? What do you say?
Am I allowed to fudge it like Jurgen Klopp did? or not? It's a great question. And I would say Liverpool at their best, the Liverpool that won titles, that pushed Manchester City to the very, very edge of winning titles, could play with a speed and intensity and energy, where I used to say they're the hardest working, best team I've ever seen in the Premier League, because they put in all the hard work that Brentford did today, then their quality would come through. What's missing now is some of that industry, some of that energy and some of the drive that they used to have now, whether that's through changes of personnel, change of system, a little bit lack of hunger. I'm not sure, it might be a combination of all those things. Defensively, Danny's talked about it. They're not as secure as they used to be. The intensity and press in the midfield that was a big part of Liverpool winning games is not the same anymore. So when you take those things away and they play against a team like Brentford tonight, we see a very different Liverpool, who don't look to me like Liverpool who can go unbeaten for 10, 12, 14 games. I don't think that's where they are right now.
Liverpool standards compared to what you saw today?
Yeah, I think one of the problems that they have is that they're still playing this specific way. Liverpool aren't trying to play any differently, but they have different players. And that, for me, is a problem, because Robbie talks about the intensity. They would go and play against teams that would be physical, would be strong. Liverpool would win that that early confrontation in the midfield area, then they'd grab hold of the game and then they'd go on and win the game. So for me, a lot of it is that you have to look at a game like this. Brentford, their tempo, their tenacity, their discipline was stronger than Liverpool's. And that for me is a slight concern. But Liverpool have enough good players. I just think there's a few adjustments that need to be made.
You can't zoom out and see the positive if you can get away from today. They have won 4 of the last 5. In 6th place, we'll see if they get to the top 4 where they're expected to be.